Hello world and welcome to Model Kit Monday. Oh, I was like, why did I hear my own back? Okay, I heard my own feedback there. Welcome to Model Kit Monday. Tonight I am going to finish building the GF13-050NSW Nobel Gundam. Tiny little figure, isn't she? And I should have brought down my God and Dragon Gundams. Oh well, I'll get pictures eventually. This is I didn't mean for this to be tonight, but whatever, here we are. I want to finish the G Gundam stuff I got before the end of March, because, I don't know, just cause. Oh shit, those should be yellow? I'll have to fix that. Anyway. Alright, so, let me switch views here. Last night I built the upper body. Upper body, head, and arms. Focus, damn it. So tonight obviously I'll be building the legs, the feet, legs, and waist, and the hair. So yeah, that's a nice plan. So, I'm not going to beat around the bush. Let's get into it. Pull up my plan. Map of stuff, map of parts. Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties here with something else. let's go and let me just go ahead and do what I was doing here. Sorry, distracted. Okay. Nippers. I have my tools ready. I did not have all my tools ready. That's my mistake. Nice. Illusion of quality. Not coming through, so we'll leave that to happen. Go ahead, midstream. Okay. Alright, I need the pieces for the little feet, which are A13, 14.
Space police policeman. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah? Where did my chat go? Oh yeah, indeed. Here's, like I said, I showed you this on Discord and whatever, but here is the Nobel Gundam so far. Very petite little thing. Focus. I should probably do some gray panel lining in those bits there. Anyway, shoulders move. Do that. Rotation. They've got a very clever bit right here on the side of the arm. It's just basically an L shape piece so that the ball joint is not exposed. I like that. Arms move up and down, you know, round, wrist swivels. These hands point kind of outwards. Be a little awkward, but it is what it is. I realized per the box art that her Vulcans are supposed to be yellow. I'll try to paint this later. I think these shoulder tips are supposed to be black. I'll have to paint that. Like I said, the white on her collar is supposed to be painted. I said screw that. Or it's supposed to be stickers. I said screw that. I mean, obviously I intend for people who can paint to put in the work, but yeah. Just real tricky nubs to smooth down. Okay, that should be sufficient. Okay, 1 foot done. Just gotta put 1 foot on top of the other. Okay, let's make some legs. She got legs, and she knows how to use them. Legs have an unsurprising lot of pieces. What do I want to play next? What did TJ Omega make today? Yeah, the 2026 Twilight Leak. I can play this on stream. Here.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJ Omega channel for day 1297 of our daily content grind, part 2. So, as mentioned in the news roundup, there's just way too much news this week because we had this, I put a little leaking faucet there just so you kind of know what's going on. This was a dam bursting. We got the entirety of the 2026 retail toy line for Transformers, both Studio Series and Age of the Primes. And I can't cover everything that happened in Transformers for the week and cover all of that in the same video. And my schedule, because it's the end of the month and we got April Fools and all this, my schedule is pretty much locked down video-wise until Thursday, and I didn't want to wait that long to talk about it, so guess what? You get a double video day. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Let us discuss all the new stuff. Now, I will tell you I've presented visual examples. However, there are no photos of any of this. It is literally just listings,
Space
so
Police
keep
Policeman.
that in mind. And
I
we're
wonder
going to
how
start
compatible
with
Nobel
Studio
Gundam would be with
Series,
30
and we're going to
millimeters
start with the new
parts.
A-level toys, which is going to be Devastation Bumblebee to go with.
I mean, should be fairly compatible, I feel like. I mean, I've never built a 30-minute missions kit, but, you know, there's supposed to be a lot of crossplay between Gunpla and 30mm, all Bandai's stuff really. Yeah, I know 30mm is like especially supposed to be about just like, you know, interchangeability, customizability, making your own stuff. 16, 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh, that was 21. Okay. Okay. So, this is also a kit from, I don't know, when did 30-minute missions start?
Space Police Policeman. 2017. Space Police Policeman. Earlier maybe.
That seems right. Let's see. 1, 2, and 4. Check one thing here. Okay. Yeah, so the Nobel Gundam is from like 2010-ish, so I don't know. Reasonably cross-compatible, probably some limitations. I mean, Nobel doesn't have a lot of... She's got no backpack. So I guess it's limited to joint interchangeability. Hands, I suppose. You know, whatever you can fit in this arm socket or the shoulder socket. Just got no attachment for a backpack. So it'd be interesting if we could come up with something.
With the recently released Devastation Optimus Prime, I'm expecting this to be, well, here's the thing. I would expect this to be an 86 Bumblebee retool or even just a simple repaint, but you gotta remember, Devastation Bumblebee had a completely different vehicle mode. He's actually much closer to Classics Bumblebee. So I don't know if they would retool something for that. None of the, I don't believe any of the A tier stuff has been a retool. They've all been brand new molds. So I could imagine them doing something that's more akin to Classics Bumblebee, so that they could do it in the cell shaded, the same as the Optimus Prime, and it looks like the Devastation Bumblebee. However, it's something they could release later on as a Classics style Bumblebee, and I think everyone would be cool with that. I think that's actually a pretty cool idea. So I'm not expecting this to actually be a retool or anything. I'm expecting this to be a brand new B. The other 8 level, Orion Pax. And this is not like this one actually might be a retool. This actually might be a retool of the Optimus Prime we've already got. I don't see any reason why it would be a new mold. You know, this is another reason why I think the Bumblebee is going to be a new mold, because I think the Orion Pax is just going to be a retool of Studio Series Optimus. Seems pretty obvious to me. I don't see any reason, because they got the same vehicle mode. You know, they got a lot of the same design features. You know, it's a retool. And wouldn't be surprised me. So nice to see that Transformers 1 still getting a little bit of love. There were some listings for Studio Series that were just straight up Transformers 1, which is great to see. Confirm we're getting Thundercracker. And we know we're getting the Starscream, so that's pretty obvious. Like, we're gonna get Thundercracker and Skywarp at the very least. Now we just know who goes first in that listing. Also, if we step it up to Voyager, we're getting Alpha Trion. So, yeah, a good face-to-face with Sentinel Prime coming up with that toy. The Prime Changer is fine, but I am going to be happy to see one that's got the proper size to him, and Voyager is going to allow them room in the budget for his asymmetry, for his little, like, mossy deco. This one should look really, really cool. Like, I'm actually excited for this. Like, this is one of those times where I hope they keep the design engineering simple, because he's a beast former. It can be simple. because I want all of that extra budget to go into making the paint job look
frames.
really, really cool. Because he's so like unique looking in the movie. That's not the most exciting one from Transformers 1 though. We are getting Arachnid. She's going to be a deluxe. I would have really preferred Voyager because her stature in the movie is very large. But depending on how they use the deluxe's bulk, that could be okay still. Like if she stretches it out lockdown size, she might still be okay. I'm just happy we're actually getting the toy at all because I love Arachnid's design in the movie.
Having flashbacks to 2012, Transformers Prime R&D Arachnid. God awful toy. Do better than that, Hasbro. You got it. It's been 12 years, 13 years when this comes out. Do better than that.
Hopefully it turns out really, really nice. Like, fingers crossed, right? Okay. Let's go into Studio Series 86. We do have a bunch of listings for more 86 figures. And a lot of it does seem like slot filler, but some of it also seems very necessary, and it's cool to see. For starters, Sunstreaker. Keep in mind, Sunstreaker's only in 2 frames of the movie. He's in there when Optimus... He's piloting the shuttle that's taking Optimus and the Dinobots down to Autobot City. And then he's just kind of in the background when Optimus makes his charge into Autobot City. It's the smallest of appearances. I figure the only thing they could really do is like maybe adjust the yellow and swap the dark gray plastic and paint they used for just solid black. It'd be a minor adjustment of colors at best, which, okay, fine. It's another reason to release Sunstreaker, I guess. Cliffjumper. And that's fine by me because Cliffjumper was in the movie, so like that's fine. He has like actual lines in the movie. Like he's a character who actually participates in what's going on. So I'm okay with him getting a figure. I expect that to be an 86 Bumblebee retool. There's no reason it shouldn't be. So no real mystery there. Here's one that's interesting. Windcharger. Finally getting some more of the Minibot Deluxes out there. So this one is interesting because you'll remember he only appears in the movie as a corpse. Now, you know Hasbro for some reason really likes their 2-pack corpses. So I'm guessing that they're going to break the tradition here and they're just going to like release this guy as is. He's just going to be like a really good Windcharger Deluxe. And then some point, him and Wheeljack are just going to get a dead 2-pack like they've been doing for everything else. You know, the Make Your Childhood Cry Part 3-pack. But, you know, it's going to be funny. It's like, because, like, he's going to appear. He's going to be a completely normal toy. And everyone in the fandom is going to go, wait, he was never alive in the movie. You know what's happening. If we step it up to leader for a moment, this one I'm just throwing in. It's out of order, but hey, whatever. We're getting another Snarl run. No surprise there. Snarl was kind of hard for some to get at retail, so not a shock that they're going to do a second run of it, which is counterpoint to them saying, like, we're not going to do, like, reruns of previous figures to fill out waves, but I think this is a unique occasion. I don't mind, like, super rare toys getting a second run, so fine, that's fine. However, okay, let's go back to Voyager size now, because here's some weird ones. Shockwave. An 86 Shockwave at the Voyager size. Now, I don't know exactly if it's going to be a brand new mold. I hope so, because I get the feeling they're just going to do what Takara did and release the Siege version without his armor. And that's going to feel really limited, and it's going to feel out of place because I don't like all the tech greeble on the Siege figures when you put them next to, like, movie-accurate Studio Series figures. I think that looks weird, like, really off. And Shockwave's going to be at risk of that if they use the Siege mold. If they do use the Siege mold, I hope it's got some heavy retooling to it. We've had that mold plenty of times now. I don't think we need it like that way again. But that said, Thundercracker and Skywarp are individually listed as Voyagers. Considering Studio Series Starscream was the Earthrise mold, I don't see any reason why these two won't be, Greeble and all, because the Seekers got a match. It's going to be good for people who missed out on that, because that was a Target exclusive 2-pack, and again, a lot of people had trouble getting a hold of it, so this is another rerun that I don't really mind. Also, it's Seekers, so they'll have no trouble selling whatsoever. I would love it if this was some kind of like retool to make them more movie accurate, you know, take off a lot of that tech Greeble, make them like nice and smooth in design, or, you know, just retool them in general. So you'll have like, oh, I don't know, a waist joint on a Seeker finally. I know, crazy thoughts, right? But you know how
I'm checking something here. back to it.
Round, and they would love an excuse to do another 86 Starscream, but most likely just repaints, just essentially reruns of the Target 2-pack, but cleaned up to be more friendly to the movie version. Leader 86 Astro Train. Now, I was excited for this because I would love another run at it. I would love to get a clean Astro Train without having to buy that 3-pack from Takara. The trick to this one is, I think it was Evan at Hasbro who came out and said, yeah, we still think the Siege Bolt's pretty good. So I believe this one's just going to be a repaint, and I think that's a mistake again for the
Space
tech
Police
Regal.
Policeman.
Again, I don't think it matches.
What I
the
do
rest of the
sometimes is
aesthetics
cut
of
the pieces from
line
the
very
sprues
well.
and put
And
them in
I
paper
honestly,
cups based
I'm
on the
not
section they are.
That's kind of what I've done here. I've just cut out, like, I made a list of all the pieces for each section, you know. I'll show you. But I made a list of all the pieces for each section that I'm working off of. And like I said, this, you know, I sort it by, I just write them down as I come across them with the instructions, and then I sort by alphabetical, and then I cut them off the frame in that order for each section. You know, just the legs, I've cut them all off in order. And then I am, you know, cutting, then cleaning, then constructing is the plan, basically. And I know people who'd like to take that to its logical extreme and just do that for like the entire kit. Kind of sounds like what you've done, which, I mean, I can, depending on the complexity of the build, I can see that being fun. You just cut it all out, you know, organize it by where it needs to go, and then just, you can build it. And I know I might have to try that sometime, just cut the whole thing out, clean it and build it. This you can just boom, 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 build. I have to try that with the real grade. It's not, like, it'd be interesting with a real grade to like really see it come together like that. Heard about someone who, like, they'll cut and clean kits and then just put them in baggies for a rainy day. And whenever they get the urge to build, they can build. For now, that's not me. But maybe I could try it.
Big on that mold so much. I don't like the narrowing, like the narrow front of the locomotive in train mode. I don't like all the exposed junk in the shuttle mode. It looks like part of the shuttle's like outer like shell was blown off. Like, if they're gonna do this as 86, I need the retooling. I need the tech detailing to be cleaned up and filled in, and I need that gap in the shuttle mode at the very least filled up. I hate when they just take a chunk of engineering off of the toy and call it a shield because they don't want to design it into the transformation, or the toy design just doesn't allow them to do that. In this case, I would begrudgingly accept that because it would fix a major, major issue I have with that mold. And I would really like to, like, enjoy that mold. There's a few surprising listings for Studio Series. These are the exciting ones, I think. At least as far as the 86 run go. Tranix. Deluxe Tranix is on the way. I can't imagine what he would transform into because he's not a transformer. He's Lithonian, and they were robotic people, but none of them were ever shown transforming. They were never like explained as part of the Transformer race, not in the 86 movie at least. It's cool because he is another important character to the plot. You know, he's literally one of the first characters we see in the movie. So getting a new toy, getting a toy at all, I think that's fantastic. I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm super curious about it. Because is he going to be retooled from somebody? Because, like, he's still an obscure character. I can't imagine he gets a brand new mold, but no one really fits his design at the deluxe size, so maybe he has to get a new mold? I don't know. Super curious about that one. This one has me excited, because I can't imagine this is a repaint or a retool. 86 Soundwave as a leader class. Now we know when he does the leader, when he comes out as leader class, there's stuff bulked in with him, like extra cassettes. Like that's what they did with Legacy United, and that's the whole reason why I think we're getting a brand new mold Soundwave, because that is a primitive mold. It really is. There's still a lot of leftover junk from the Siege spaceship version, like the landing skiffs on the arms. He is very heavily tech greebled. Again, you know, that is aesthetically off-putting. It doesn't work for Studio Series. So, yeah, I would expect, because of like the recency to it, you know, like that Soundwave came out tail end of last year, early this year. To do another leader class Soundwave 1 year later, I have to believe that it's going to be a brand new mold. Otherwise, why would you run like the Siege version one last time? Why would you run the Netflix version one last time? Yeah, so I think we're gonna get a brand new mold Soundwave. I'm super looking forward to that. That's it. Studio Series 86 is also getting a sub imprint for the anniversary. This is just gonna be like a side batch of 4, probably similar to like how the extra Beast Wars figures were released during Legacy at Walmart. Like they were exclusives to Walmart, but they just kind of looked like their own wave on the pegs, and they had like just like the same boxes and all that. I kind of expect the same thing here, except they dance around the size classes, which is interesting. We're getting Scourge again. The only thing I could really think to do with him new is to add his Target Master partner, but that's not 86, is it? I thought the last Scourge toy was pretty much spot on. I don't know what else you do with it, you know, for 86 aesthetic. Hound at the deluxe size, and this one is okay. I could see this one. Like you could like that version is a little bit leaning more toward like how the toy was handled, like coloring wise, especially with the secondary green. You could absolutely color adjust him to be more accurate to how Hound looked in the movie.
Let's put the leg together. Hot
Rod. We know they've been wanting to do this mold again. They wanted to do it in Velocitron. It got canceled. Because it's the 86th anniversary, I don't think it's going to be that version, because that one was geared to look more like the toy, right down to tampagraphs matching the old stickers. I have to believe this is where we finally get the thing we've been asking for a long time, and that being a Hot Rod in the actual movie colors that he had, the maroon color scheme. It's literally the only thing you can do with that toy at this point. It's the most obvious thing to do. They need to just go ahead and do it, give us what we're after. And I got the feeling that maybe that retro reissue of Hot Rod that actually had movie accurate colors, that one actually I think did well. I think I saw it on clearance, but not for long. I feel like that toy did pretty well. It was pretty well received. I liked it a lot. So that might have given them the confidence to do this one. I hope that's the case anyway. There's also a Leader Optimus Prime listed. I can't imagine it's going to be the Earthrise mold. Like, that one just feels so primitive now, right? I get the feeling this is most likely going to be the Commander class, but without the trailer, without roller, probably with just sparse accessories. And maybe some, probably some, like, simplification in the color scheme, or, like, the paint job. Because, like, that's still a very bulky figure. Like, to release as a leader class, that still might be a stretch.
Negligible connections.
That's what I imagine it being.
Cheap viewers on
streamboo.com. After 86
remove the
Optimus
space
came out,
at
I can't imagine you would actually
BBNO8YCQ.
run the Earthrise mold
Click off
again. So, fingers crossed, because I know a lot of people who would love to get their hands on that mold, but really do not care about a big gray plastic box to go with it. So, this would give you something else. This would give you a way of handling that. Okay, so that's your subset of 86. There's a few more listings for Studio Series that go into Transformers 5, The Last Night.
Oh, that's supposed to finish.
One of them being Barricade. And this is actually pretty cool. I really like this redesign of Barricade because it gets rid of some of the elements I hated in the first version, like the big flat arms and the gigantic the gorilla proportion, the like big long like grabby slender man hands. I don't like that. This one is leaning far more traditional in shape, but I don't think that's such a bad thing. Like, it's still very movie design, but he looks a lot more solid. And that's kind of what I wished out of Barricade's design in the first place. So, honestly, like, the toy here in this shot is actually pretty good. Like, if they just reran that toy in better colors, like more movie accurate colors, I think that would be just fine. But I do expect a brand new mold that they can milk for a few retools or whatever. And then there's a leader class listing for Nemesis Prime, which, you know, we just got the Age of Extinction Optimus Prime released. I fully expect that's just going to be the exact same toy with just purple eyes, a couple of retooled things here and there, and a little bit of strawberry jam dripping down his face. Very, very cheap, easy repaint, very easy way to get another use out of it. Something that really, let's be honest here, there's a lot of space left in that Studio Series Age of Extinction Optimus packaging. They really, really could have just made the Nemesis Prime thing a head swap. That's all it really should have been. It should have just been a head on a ball joint, pop it off, put the altered head on, there's your Nemesis Prime, because that's all it really is. I know there's going to be someone who's like very into the Bayverse going like, oh, there's this and that detail different. No one can tell. No one can tell. And I don't think the larger populace cares about if the forearms are slightly different or not. You know, I just feel like it's a lazy redo. And if they're, you know, at the very least, if they're going to do this, like, can you at least do the Takara thing and just give him like the normal Nemesis color scheme? I know he didn't have it in the movie. I know it's inaccurate. I don't care. This is going to be lame otherwise. Okay, so we've gone 20 minutes, and that's just the Studio Series listings. We haven't even gotten to year 2 of Age of the Primes. So the computer listings actually do call it AOTP, Age of the Primes. So this is a 2-year toy line, just as we were told. And according to, the listings actually do basically tell us what's going to happen with the rest of the primes that are not accounted for in year 1. This is also going to complete the Combaticons. So all of those are accounted for now. So yeah, it seems like this line is just 2 years and done, and then whatever happens next. So let's get this started by confirming size classes for all of the remaining primes, okay? So first off, Quintus Prime is going to be a deluxe. I don't think that's much of a surprise. I wish like he would be like a little bit bigger so you could do something a little bit more with the tentacly thing. But also, remember, I'm anticipating a Botanica retool from him. So deluxe is probably about the most you're going to get out of that. You know, obscure characters, yeah, keep it to the cheap side. Amalgamus Prime is going to be a Voyager. And this confuses me. How do you convey the whole thing behind Amalgamus Prime if he is just a Voyager? So I think people might be spot on with he might just be like an evolution of the weaponizer gimmick, and he might just come apart into a bunch of parts that you can either rearrange or turn into weapons for other characters. I'm super curious how they're actually going to portray the character, because he does seem impossible to do at that size, but clearly they've got an idea. And then there's Nexus Prime. So you'll remember in the past, I kind of surmised that like the Combaticons and the aerial bots were coming out so that they could do like a proper like Nexus Prime, the same way that they did for the Transformer subscription service. Nope. He's a Voyager. Okay, he's the prime of combining. How are you going to convey the abilities of a combiner in a Voyager? The only thing I can think of is like a return to power core, but without the stupid automorphing limbs. You know, like if I think I kind of floated this idea before. I will bring it back now because I still think it's a good idea. If the arms and legs could pop off into and transform into independent vehicles, don't have to be complicated, just like maybe 2 or 3 step transformations, and then what's left of the body turns into a vehicle as well. That would convey it. That would do the job. I don't think it's satisfactory at the Voyager size, but I don't know. Granted, given the listings we have, I can see where like the other size classes are just a little bit full in 2026, so maybe this makes sense. As long as we're okay, I know there's one prime missing. We'll get to that. But let's move on to the Combaticons. I did mention that they were going to be in here. So Blastoff is confirmed as a deluxe, no surprise. Onslaught's going to be the 2026 Commander. We've been predicting that on this channel for a long time now. Brawl is the fascinating one because Brawl is listed as a Voyager class toy. Interesting. So keep in mind, there's a huge shift in Transformers right now because, you know, like John Warden got rehired and then fired in 6 months. So whatever they were planning, you know, kind of went out the window. And keep in mind, toy cycles run in 2 years, like from conception to release, 2-year cycle. So that explains why this toy line is only 2 years, because this is what they had planned. And it's why we seem to have like this cutoff point, you know, all the primes have to be released in 2 years. All the Combaticons have to be finished in 2 years. There's going to be a few more gaps that are going to be filled up in this listing by the time we are done. So it feels like Brawl might be a Voyager because that might be the only way they could have gotten all of them out. Like the deluxe slots might just have been too full, and Brawl just ended up being in the Voyager size class, and they'll throw in a bunch of Bruticus parts or something, or extra weaponry accessories or something to make up for the price difference. What I'm actually expecting, you know, that's a one suspicion. The other one that's coming to mind is I kind of feel like Brawl always ends up being the worst of the team. If you think back to the last 2 times they did Brawl, it was the Fall of Cybertron Combiner and the Combiner War Combiner. And I think both times he is the worst member of his team by far. I feel like if they're doing him as a Voyager, that does give them the budgetary room to make him a very dense Voyager. He can have a little bit more bulk on him, which would be accurate to the character, and then he would have enough budget in him to form a solid piece for Bruticus instead of the mess he usually ends up being. You know, if you ask me why I've sold off Combiner War Computron twice now, a big part of it is because that nose cone uses that mold, and it hurts me. So I would not be surprised if this ends up just being like an Ironhide style super dense Voyager that's just like a large deluxe in the end. So he can still integrate, he can still connect to the framework, but he does have a little bit more mass to him and a little bit more budget, so he doesn't have to suck this time. Okay, talking about completing sets, right? Power Glide is finally getting a new deluxe toy. Boy has been gone since Combiner Wars. And he had to be a Legends class then. Now he gets to be a full deluxe. Fantastic to see, long overdue. That also opens up a path for our eHobby GoBots, our modern ones, to finally be complete. That's kind of cool. So we can get our bad boy, finally. Swerve is listed. Again, long overdue. And with that, that pretty much just leaves 2 mini-bots out, and that would be Outback and Tailgate, both of which who have molds out right now. In fact, I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen Outback, because the Brawn mold's been out for a while now. But this is it. This will come very close to completing all of the G1 mini-bots as deluxes. The only one outstanding besides the 2 I mentioned that are just retools is going to be like Bumper. And I don't know if Hasbro cares enough about Bumper to release a specific retool that's just for him. I feel like they've had the opportunity and skipped on it. You know, we had that one, was it that one Bumblebee that, like, design-wise was very much on point to be Bumper, and then they just, like, chickened out at the last minute and made it Bumblebee instead. I remember that from somewhere. So yeah, we've only got 2 mini-bots, technically only 2 mini-bots left, technically 3 if you count the odd Bumble Jumper in there. Sure Shot completes the Autobot Target Masters. Again, long overdue, but we're now in an age where they've figured out budget for Target Masters so they can actually have their partners, which does remind me, Crosshair's toy sucks. It feels just like a space filler, just like a check the box type retool to make him a retool of Siege Ironhide of all toys. Doesn't match the vehicle, doesn't come with his Target Master partner. So I'm sure someone in Hasbro considers that group complete now once this toy comes out. I don't think so. Until you do a proper Crosshairs, I don't think this team's complete. So fingers crossed on that one.
To get that.
Here's a super curious one, and I'm not sure what this is. Smokescreen is listed, and here's the thing. I don't think it's a rerun of the Earthrise Smokescreen, because that toy's not really all that rare. Like, you can go find it on eBay for about the price of toys from that era now. I don't think it's a Siege reissue, because that was a Generation Selects release, and it would follow the same scheme as Hound, or not Hound, but Prowl. Because I know that they just redid Siege Prowl for some random reason. That was online exclusive. You're not going to find it in a store anywhere. So I don't think they're going to lump in, like, out of nowhere, here's Siege Smokescreen as a general release within Age of the Primes, which makes me super curious. Now, there's no designation of series, so there's no indication that it's G2, Armada, Alternator. How cool would it be if it's the Alternator? I've been waiting for that for so long. If they do that, then I can finally get that Dead End Sunstreaker repaint. I have no idea what to make of this one. Could be the G1, could be the G2, could be Prime. Could be Prime Smokescreen. Could be Armada. Because we are getting another Armada toy, and this one should have everyone excited, has me excited. Sideways. And Sideways is listed as a Voyager. Now for him, we know exactly why he is listed as a Voyager, because they need the engineering budget to get the head swap in there. Because keep in mind, his minicons are far more important than just headmasters. They also transform into the rider for the vehicle mode. So that's a lot of extra engineering. Now we know from specialty packs that they have released elsewhere that a minicon would add about $5 worth to the budget of a deluxe. So getting 2 minicons on top of the extra engineering that Sideways is going to require for the head swapping, yeah, that's about Voyager. I don't think anyone's going to complain about that. This is like one of the hottest designs from the 2000s for requests, right? Like, this is one of the biggest ones people are all about. Like, this toy needs to be done. We're getting it. It's interesting to me that we're getting it before we're getting the rest of the original Decepticons from Armada. Because we've got the team of 3 Autobots already, but we don't have Cyclonus and we don't have Demolishor. And Demolishor is another one everyone clamors for a new toy of. I understand. Sideways is a really, really popular design, really popular character, and probably one of the ones in desperate need of a rerun, of a redo, a new figure. Like, I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to ask, where Demolishor? Okay, animated fans. We're getting a few bones thrown to us. Deluxe Ratchet on the way. Okay, so after the Bulkhead fiasco, they seem to have gotten their act straight. The animated stuff, the modern animated stuff, it's a little generationed, but it still feels like the animated characters. I think they did a really, really good job. On Prime and Prowl especially. I thought both of those were just outstanding. And now we get
Excuse me.
we get Ratchet as well. This does open up the possibility that we now need to see Bulkhead. Because I do not accept that Legacy Bulkhead. I mean, it's based on Prime technically, but it certainly has no connection to the like the lovable lug from Animated. That needs to be a leader class, and that needs to be, I guess, 2027 now, since like that's going to be a very obvious gap they need to fill to complete that set.
Alright, let's make the pelvis.
That's not it. We also have a listing for a Voyager Wreck-Gar. And this got me super excited at first. Hey, yeah, another Weird Al Transformer. You know what occurred to me? He's going to be a Trashmaster retool. And I really, really do not like the Trashmaster toy. At all. I do not like that toy at all. And it's going to hurt me when this just ends up being him. I don't know. It's an obvious one, though. There's no reason to do another, you know, trash truck transformer. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Because that toy, that would have to be so much retooling to make it work. But the body shape is correct. So it might be one of those, like, we're reusing the skeleton of this toy to make Wreck-Gar. But I guess that would be okay. But also, it's got the Junkion gimmick in, so Wreck-Gar falling apart wouldn't be, like, too far up. Oh my god, it's gonna be a Trashmaster retool, and I'm gonna hate it. Oh, here's a fun one. Transformers Prime fans, you don't have to buy the 4-pack to get Cliff Jumper. He's marked as a deluxe release. This one is fun for me because just yesterday at the toy shop, I had a regular come in lamenting that he had to buy a 4-pack just to get a hold of Prime Cliff Jumper. Well, problem solved. You gotta wait a year, but patience will be rewarded. You will have a Cliff Jumper. You do not have to pay $80-$90 for whatever that 4-pack cost at retail. I forget at this point because it's been a long time since I bought mine. Or even like the $50. I know it went on clearance for $50. Hey, $25. $25 and you don't have to deal with the weird orange tarantulas. Okay, so we have one listing for a Generation Selects release. And I think this is an obvious one since we already saw that G2 Snarl and Sludge, or no, not Sludge, but Slug. We already saw that their listing was coming up, so no surprise. Well, I think this was a surprise. We are getting G2 Sludge, and more importantly for me, we're getting G2 Swoop. I love this. I love this. So we were kind of like going back and forth, like maybe that's it, because there's only 3 G2 Dinobots, and if they 2-pack the repaints to go along with that new G2 Grimlock that just came out, then there's really no reason to continue that. But I'm happy they are. I'm happy they are. Now, granted, I've already bought that Grimlock twice, and I bought all the rest of the Dinobots already. I really do not want to buy a whole set of Dinobots again just to have them all in G2 colors. I have nostalgia for the Grimlock, but I'm trying to resist any urge to get it. Maybe if I find it on clearance or something. But I don't feel like dropping $260-odd to get another 5 set of toys when, frankly, I'm only nostalgic for a few of them. I'm not nostalgic for the Slag. I'm not nostalgic, you know, I don't really care about Orange Sludge. What I would love from this 2-pack is the Green Swoop. You're going to take my favorite Dinobot from childhood and you're going to give him my favorite color. Yeah, I'm going to want it. So when this pack is announced, do not be surprised if I am asking someone to buy the Sludge off of me, or hounding people over on Blue Sky going, who's buying this for Sludge and doesn't want the Swoop? Hit me up. I will get the Swoop eventually though, one way or another. Yeah, even if I skip the Grimlock and just go like straight up no G2s, I'll still get the Swoop. Alright, let's do a little bit. The last listings are Beast Wars and Beast Wars adjacent, and this makes me happy. Deluxe Quick Strike is happening. I remember the designers scaring me because at one point they mentioned, oh yeah, we would love to do Quick Strike as a core class. Like, no, do not do Quick Strike as a core class. That would ruin this design. Oh no, we're not getting him as a core class. We're getting him as a full deluxe, which is exactly what he should be. I'm super excited for that. That, you know, that again completes our season 2 cast outside of Transmetal variants. And I don't know. I feel like at this point they just need to do Transmetals as like dense, like dense deluxe Voyagers, just to justify the extra paint apps they're going to take and the the extra parts for the third modes. And then like Megatron and Optimus can be leader class somewhere down the line. That seems to be the only option at this point. Like, I don't see how else you actually get Transmetals out there, because Hasbro knows there's demand. Hasbro knows there's a lot of people asking for it. I don't know how Takara feels about Transmetals. That might be the holdup here. But, like, it's literally the only place left to go. And I'm just, like, sitting here waiting. Bated breath. The adjacent one is a repaint, but it's one that I know a lot have been asking for. We're finally getting it. Universe Razor Claw, the most obvious thing in the world. It's just a really, really cool looking repaint of Tiger Hawk. Makes me wonder where Cryotech is, I'll say that. And that's going to be a leader class for 2026. But there's a new mold leader class that's also Beast Wars that a lot of people are going to be happy about. It's the first leak we got out of this one. Big convoys on the way. Oh, this one's exciting. I want to see how he looks in modern engineering, more animation accurate in the robot mode, and potentially less reliant on kibble. I know that's ridiculous because he's like almost all kibble, but we've gotten a lot better at engineering toys. I feel like they could do it at this point. More importantly to me, this means that all of the Beast Wars leader characters from the US and from Japan have all had new toys, except for my favorite design of them all, which is Beast Wars 2nd Galvatron. And now I'm just kind of going like, where is it? I know you've got no repaint options. At least for him, you got options. You got the Nemesis Prime from Universe, which is probably the best, probably one of the best Nemesis Primes from that era. And then you've got Ultra Mammoth. I think everyone would get a kick out of a new Ultra Mammoth. I need that Galvatron. I don't care. Like, repaint it into like a weird Beast Wars Megatron. Repaint it into G1 Megatron colors. I don't care. I need that. I need that character. I need that toy. So that's your last leak. That's a ton of stuff. That's a ton of stuff. Now, This does leave a few questions here. Obviously, there's a few gaps left. We got one gap in the Autobots from animated. We got some mini bots that are left out. I think the weirdest omission here is that out of all of these listings, we do not have a Studio Series Commander announced for 2026. Now, if we're going with the anniversary releases, I have to believe that it's going to be Rodimus Prime in the maroon colors. And 86 Rodimus is another big one that has not been done yet. And it's probably just going to be a repaint of the Kingdom one. Hopefully a little bit of retooling to just kind of clean them up a little bit, make them more movie accurate. But it's high time. They haven't rerun that mold since Kingdom. It's, you know, and it shouldn't be a one and done mold. And just like the normal Hot Rod, I think a lot of people want to see him in his proper movie colors. And then there's no Titan listing. I think that's the most curious one. But that said, who was missing from this entire list? We got caught up on all of the primes. We now know the size classes for all of the primes. Where's Liege Maximo? And it's at this point I will show you his first appearance to remind you Liege Maximo is gigantic.
Good lord.
I am willing to bet you, as a counter to Star Optimus Prime as a small commander, R13 are going to be completed by Liege Maximo being the 2026 Titan. That's the vibe I am getting at this point. You know, if they're doing it to scale the original design, this is exactly the scale. This is perfect. And you do realize they really do like to have those counterpoint figures when they do Titans, right? So, like, we got the Ark, so they had to do the Nemesis at some point. No, so that wouldn't surprise me in the least. Not in the least. But that's your listings. Those are the leaks. Oh my god, that's so much to talk about. That's so many exciting things coming out. So, in the comments below, your assignment is to tell me your most anticipated one. Which one are you looking forward to the most? Which one concerns you the most? There's got to be someone in this list that you're convinced they're not going to get correct. So, feel free to discuss it in the comments below. And as always, I will see you next time.
Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.
Maybe I'll watch Magnetar someday, I don't know. Good lord.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJ Omega channel for day 1297 of our daily content grind, part 1. See, we've got a very loaded news roundup today, and this is not even the biggest news because yesterday an enormous amount of leaks dropped. We basically know the entirety of the 2026 toy line. However, because of the scheduling of this time of the month and what next month is, my videos are basically booked until Thursday. So I can't just talk about the leaks here. It'd take too long. It'd be an hour-long video. But and I don't want to do it on Thursday because it's ice cold by then. So here's what I'm doing. We're going to do our standard news roundup now, and then
I literally just watched someone on Reddit say, I shook my panel liner up while the lid was open. I've just done the exact same fucking thing. I'll be right back. I gotta get a towel. Alright, I'm back. Check my panel liner.
In a little bit, you're going to see a second video. I've done this a couple times now, but you will see a second video from me detailing all of the leaks, giving my thoughts, and pointing a few things out. So that's later. So for now, let's focus on the news from the last week's worth of Transformers. And until the leak list came out, this was the top news story of the entire week. Masterpiece G released images for an upcoming Optimus Prime in what they are now calling Style Gen. This is a subline in what is technically a Masterpiece subline that became the main line. And it seems like the idea here is to try and produce like very stylized but still masterpiece quality items. And this one in particular seems to have a strong focus on the more anime-centric styles of Optimus Prime and more accessory play that not necessarily goes to just G1 stuff. So let's see, the first release of Style Gen, a new interpretation of the transformation, difficulty, proportions, and details, movement and posing, vehicle play, and weapon play in the MPG series. The next generation of the highest end Transformer series is here. Okay, so that's the basic rundown here. I do have a better photo for you that kind of shows off more of what's going on here. So we have... This gets weird. So we have a obviously highly posable Masterpiece scaled Optimus Prime, still has the Matrix gimmick and everything, but he has a very stylized vehicle mode, which obviously takes a few liberties and shortcuts that we're not used to out of Masterpiece. And then there is the accessory loadout. He comes with his traditional axe and ion cannon. That's fine. However, he's also coming with the Revenge of the Fallen forearm blades and the axe from Siege. Like, oh, okay. Why? Now, here's the thing. This is what's weird to me. It's not MP 4.0 Convoy because it's going for something completely different. To this point, Masterpiece has just represented like a perfection of particular iterations of Transformer characters. You know, usually their original depiction. So, like, when I think back, I see MP10 Optimus Prime as, like, the pinnacle of a toy-accurate Optimus. You know, like, if the original toy design is how Optimus Prime evolved, I think you get to MP10. MP44 is the perfect realization of the cartoon-accurate design. Admittedly, 86 Optimus makes that a little blurry. However, it still fills the niche for Masterpiece. Like, it's an exceptionally animation-accurate toy in robot mode. So I'm not exactly sure what role this is filling. You know, it's not representative of any existing Optimus Prime. It's doing its own thing, which is not what Masterpiece has ever done before. That said, Masterpiece 44 is extraordinarily complicated to play with, and Masterpiece 10 is still a fantastic toy, but its engineering has absolutely aged a lot. I think the hips in particular have aged very badly on that toy. So if this is a way of producing a Masterpiece Optimus Prime that also is a lot easier to play with, okay, I can kind of see what you're going for. It just seems weird. Like, I feel like we just did this. We just had Jinrai released, which for a lot of us is just another Optimus Prime. So to release another Masterpiece Optimus Prime now seems a little odd. Almost like it's a safe bet release. Like, this line's got to start selling, so let's put out an Optimus Prime. It's the vibe I get from it, and I don't like that vibe. But it's all I can really think of, you know? There's a lot of characters that are still missing from Masterpiece, but we're going to do a new Optimus Prime instead. We can't get Jazz in Masterpiece, or Mirage, but we're going to do another Optimus Prime. I'm sure it'll be a great toy, but let's see how it shakes out for now. Let's move on. Let's move on to Hasbro reveal. So, Age of the Primes, Onyx Prime, behind the scenes post. Mostly fluff in the text as usual, but getting good shots of this toy is really this is a bang on toy. This looks so good. I do like the brown shades going on. There's a little bit of metallic, but it's not like a worrying amount. Like, it's a nice bronze color to give him more of an ancient look and still much more animalistic. You can see fur sculpted in on the insides of his arms. Love the wing shape and silhouette it hits. It's a quadruped if you want it to be. He has a centaur mode, and I actually really like how the horse legs fold up around and become like shoulder designs and details. That's super cool. That's just a really neat design idea. It's a really neat design idea. It looks like the mask can close too. I don't see a good photo of that here, but remember, his relic is the mask, and in that shot I can actually see the mask closed over his face, which is kind of like I guess is something of an homage to the mutant heads from Beast Wars, if I think about it. And then we have the beast mode, which is again super unique. I mean, it's still kind of close to a griffin, still leaning more, but it's more like some weird chimera of different animal parts, because he's still got hooves, but he's also got the paw hands from his robot mode hands. Like, he's got the fur on the wings. The wings are like more scattered, like they're feathered, not scaly like dragon. But the head looks more dragonish. It's a weird amalgamation of different animal designs, and just like a six-legged, like mammal-style beast mode is super weird. Like, they're doing some interesting things with this guy, and he does look really, really cool. So, I'm looking forward to this guy. It's gonna be a bit, because the first wave of leaders just came out, but it looks like he's gonna be really, really cool. Something else announced. We have official photos for the Devastation 2-pack, the Ground Soldier and Elite Seeker, so we got a nice, clear look at them now. They are obviously just repaints. You got to repaint a Ramjet and a repaint of Runabout/Runamuck. They are both in cell shade to go along with the rest of the Devastation toys, like the Optimus that just came out. There is the 2-pack. It's a beautiful packaging. Like, I like the red, black, and silver color scheme they've got on some of these like exclusive releases. Again, part of the More Than Meets the Eye collection, which we still don't exactly know what that is. It's just been appearing on some new packaging lately. It's weird. They look really nice though. Ironically enough, one of the only retools or repaints that we haven't gotten from the Earthrise Seekers of any kind yet is the G2 Blackout, what used to be called the Black Death Starscream. This is getting very, very close to that, though. Close enough to where I'm not sure that Starscream's possible anymore. But hey, one more Seeker we can get out of every single Seeker mold from now on. Congratulations. More in-hand shots. So, we've seen plenty of the new Star Optimus Prime, but I think this gallery actually presents something a little bit more noteworthy, which is comparisons to the other Star Convoy toys, most notably the original, so you can see just how much bigger it is and how many designs carry forward from that original toy. That part of it is cool. You can see how much bigger the Micromaster Hot Rod is, even though they do seem to have very similar design intentions. Yep, you see how much bigger the trailers are, how much bigger the gun is. You know, obviously the Optimus version of the roller unit does not roll on its own like the original one did. Yeah, there's next to Grandis and Sky Gary. Grandis not nearly as big as a lot of people seem to think. It's not quite Citybot size. And here he is next to another Titan. So this is going to give you like your best sense of scale here. You know, he only comes up to Devastator's chest. And Devastator is, you know, on the smaller side of the Titans too. So that tells you what a $160 Titan really shakes out to. I'm still looking forward to it, though. Like, it still looks like it's going to be a dead solid Optimus Prime, just really big and fun to play with, so I'm not really going to complain here. But speaking of the Constructicons, we have in-hand shots of the Commander Class 2-pack for Long Haul and Hook. So again, I think the things that are most notable here are going to be the comparison shots. Here's the vehicle mode compared to their contemporaries, the previous Combiner War versions. Our brand new ones are in the middle, and you can see they definitely lean more toward the duller lime green of the Constructicons. So you can see, like, there with the original Devastator in the back, our new ones seem to be trending closer to like the old school toy colors a little bit, which is not a bad idea. Like the bright neon is not exactly correct. I kind of like the duller color that we got going on here. You know, obviously Hook's got a lot of his improvements. Like, his elbows are actually going to work. That's a nice little feature. Otherwise, they kind of look the same. It seems like they go for the same things engineering-wise, because I don't necessarily think you can do much else with Hook. The real comparison is Long Haul. Look how different these two are. I mean, obviously, they're night and day as far as size classes go. Yeah, you can see the articulation levels way better on the new one. Yeah, like, it's like the comparison shots are the ones that interest me the most, because we've seen most of this already. And the toys look fine. You know, they look like they're going to be serviceable Constructicons. I believe Pulse is shipping me out Bone Crusher soon, so I get my first taste of exactly what's to come here. At least, you know, probably within a little more than a week, maybe. More in-hand shots. This is a little bit more from the Triple Takeover 3-pack, so we get to look at the Starscream and his animation accurate colors compared to the Earthrise one. Much brighter, you know, much more into like the off-white color scheme. I don't think the face is dark enough. The face should be a little bit darker for cartoon accurate, but it doesn't look bad. I'll give it that. There's your coronation parts, because, you know, it's still the leader class version. Your Astro Train, nice comparison. Good to see it clean. It's a little bright for for what it's going for.
I guess.
Still not too bad though. Your Blitzwing.
Beam Saber's handbags.
Still torn on this one. I still don't know if I want this one for like the cartoon accurate colors, or if I'm okay with the Hasbro one. Haven't decided yet, but like the rest of the pack is not thrilling me. And there's also reasons for not like biting on that Astro Train right now. I love that it's the football arena. That's funny. Yeah, I actually just talked to somebody who did not get a lot of these molds. So, like, this would be a fantastic opportunity to go back and pick them up, because these look like they're going to be great versions of all of them. Yeah, so we've seen most of this already. We don't need to go over, because there's so much to talk about this week. I don't want to stick on old topics too long. I say it's already 14 minutes in, and I'm only like halfway through the stories. In-hand shot for Shattered Glass, Masterpiece Optimus Prime. This is the MP44 mold. So that's the other weird thing to me about releasing the brand new one so quick, is because I feel like we've only done a few color schemes on the MP44 mold at this point. And usually an Optimus mold will get a ton of recolors. Like, you see how many MP10 got. I feel like by comparison, MP44 has gotten next to nothing. There should still be a lot of legs left in that mold. So again, I'm a little confused as to why we're getting another Optimus Prime so soon, when it seems like this one still has life in it. But I guess if you're trying to produce something that's not as complex, I guess that's what they're going for here. I'm more or less ranting now. The toy itself looks fine. It looks good. I'm not huge on G1 Optimus Prime getting the evil color schemes, because I never think the sculpt looks correct for it. I like the more angular, more meaner ones, and the classic one worked for Shattered Glass. I don't think this one works as well. I don't like when they do just straight up Black Convoy colors on G1 Primes either, for the same reason. I think the designs need a little bit more edge and attitude for them to make those colors work. Ah well. Speaking of colors working, This is the 40th selection Bumblebee from T-Spark. This is the masterpiece mold done in actual movie accurate colors. If you recall, the first time they did this toy, the yellow was way brighter, and a lot of the details were not painted correctly. So this is a repair job. It's a much more subdued shade of yellow, you know, that movie Bumblebee yellow that's kind of leaning into orange a little bit. And obviously, like, they have gone extra with all of the deco, trying to make this as just clean and accurate as possible. Looks fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So I'm sure someone's going to be thrilled that they waited on that Bumblebee, because now there's such a good one on the way. I've heard good things. You know, I'm still kind of like done with the movie stuff, but if you missed out on it, good alternative on the way. You remember this thing? This is the Karakuri statue for Optimus Prime that Takara Tomy was doing. This is the one where it's like we have Robo-Sen at home type release. So it's the Optimus Prime that is on his own like mechanical base. You hit the button and he starts spinning around and auto-converting until he's this like bulky Optimus Prime statue. It still looks cool, and if you've seen video of how it works, it's a really neat function. I don't think it's necessarily anything I would ever go after, because it's a desktop trick. You know, it's just like that little like desktop, like it's like some trinketed executive would keep on his desk type thing, where like he hits the button or flips it over and it does the thing, and like then you just kind of ignore it until someone wants to see it do the trick. You know, it's decoration rather than an actual toy. So, like, for me, that's not what I'm after here. But, cool. Still, the look of it and the function of it is still neat. I'm not going to take that away from it. Takara Tomy showed off what their release of a box set of Legacy Stunticons is going to look like. And it's exceptionally retro. The box layout, colors, and even the character artwork is taken straight from the original Stunticon releases. But the photo work for the vehicle modes is all the brand new stuff, so you actually, you know, can actually tell you're getting the original, the new ones, not the originals. Vintage artwork on the back, which is always super cool to see. Very retro, and Takara Tomy really likes the retro packaging, so no surprise. It's done very, very well, though. Wild King episodes 1 and 2 are currently available online. They are not geo-locked. You will be able to watch them right now. I have watched them myself. I'm not entirely sure. I almost decided, do I want to do a video talking about the Wild King cartoon? I think I want to wait for another episode to drop so I can get a better feel about what's going on in it, and then just do like one video and done. I'm not going to review every single episode, because I'm going to be honest with you, they're 5 minutes long. There's not a lot to talk about. And it's really just promotional material more than anything. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. If you want to go watch it yourself, you search on TFW, the link is available. Or if you can type in Japanese, search for Transformers Wild King. Either way, it's a goofy, fun little thing, and it does raise a few interesting questions, which is why I want to wait for another episode before I talk about it on a video.
Right, and then the headpiece.
Robo-Sen is giving a lot of people, a lot of influencers, an early copy of their brand new G1 Bumblebee, which does look fantastic. It looks like some simplified and somehow also perfected MP 1.0 Bumblebee.
There she is.
Just makes me think of
Nobel Gundam. With the hair that's definitely not a funnel. With the funnel that's definitely not hair, rather, I should say. Yeah. Where's her design influence on her sleeve? And that is A-okay. got some gray does on the back on her hairpiece.
Of the letter I got from RoboSen telling me that, like, yeah, my channel does not, my channel's views are too inconsistent. Sure, okay, all right, fine. I can play ball, but some people do not want to take the field. But yeah, I've been seeing this one all over TikTok. Everyone who got an early copy has been showing it off. It does look fantastic. I will be honest, like, I feel like this looks nicer and cleaner than even some of the other RoboSen pieces. I'm not going to spend over $1,000 on one. I'm just not, because it's just such a show-offy toy. But I do think the look and function of it hits me a lot better than the Optimus and Megatron do, and even the Grimlock. Like, if I were to get one, it would probably be the Bumblebee. I think he looks that nice. I'm just not in a hurry, and I'm not really prioritizing it in any way, shape, or form. Just, he's there. Nice Bumblebee. Okay, Yellow Park is showing off some new stuff. So this is their AMK Pro Optimus Prime from Rise of the Beast. We have seen a little bit of it here and there, but this is the full official release. Their AMK Pro stuff is incredible. It's, you know, simplified model kit stuff, just kind of build the figure from essentially the parts the factory would assemble in order to build an action figure. You're getting electronic lights in the head. You're getting a lot of accessory parts. There's going to be a little bit of die cast in here as well. And obviously the articulation, detail, and paint are just exceptional. Yellow Park does a really impressive work, and this is another proof of that. It looks very, very nice. Not something I would be terribly attached to, but it does look really, really cool. They are not done. RoboSen is also showing off their IDW Tarn that is going to be coming out. This is another AMK, and it looks fantastic. Comes with the unmasked head, which is a nice touch, because that's not something that any of the other Tarn toys do. At least not at this price point. This would be way more affordable than some of the big statue or high-end articulated Tarns are going to be. Yeah, again, they just do some really, really good work. There is an AMK Pro Tarn in the works that's going to have LEDs, better paint job, die-cast parts, but if you can't wait, or if you want something that's going to be a little bit more affordable, there is going to be this option. And we're going to wrap it up with a report from Blockies that showed off a few things at their global conference, including the Gray Proto for their Action Edition Soundwave. That's to go right along with the Optimus and Megatron that they have already done. And it looks pretty good so far. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be excited to get a hold of one of those. Actually, now that I think of it, I think this is still the design. I think this is still the series the Optimus comes from, because him and Megatron are very different aesthetics. I don't know. Yellow Park does a lot of, Blockies makes a lot of solo, like sublines and alternate lines. Like, it's hard for me to keep track sometimes. He is looking really good though. Do really, really like what they come up with. Showing off the current wave of Blockies kits. We've talked about some of these before. I really want that Delta Magnus, the Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus. Really want that one. Want the Ramjet too. There's a bunch of loose ones that I don't have that I need to track down at some point. But the big news here is that the Wave 7 figures, which is going to be Transformers 1 Wave 2, showing off the Gray Proto for Shockwave and then Soundwave, both looking very, very good. I'm looking forward to those a lot to complete that collection. And then we get a little bit more of their Transformers 1 offerings. I believe these are the model kits. Yeah, I believe this is the model kit series, and they all look really, really good again. Their Galaxy Defender version is going to release all the Devastator vehicles. 3 are already out. Here's the gray prototypes of the rest. And there is the Devastator. They all form when you manage to collect the entire set. I still do not know exactly how they're releasing the individual parts. You can see them in the back there. All the extra parts you need in order to actually combine these guys into Blocky's Devastator. How those are actually going to be released, I'm still not sure. But they do have a plan for it. And, you know, for a little Devastator guy, it looks pretty good. And then they showed this off. So this is Optimus Prime as Brown from Line Friends. And the only reason I know this is because this, you know, Brown and Coney are 2 characters with a lot of like lovey-dovey cutesy gifs that me and my girlfriend send back and forth to each other all the time. So it's super weird that an Optimus Prime is coming out. I don't know, it's an oddball thing. And it's the oddest thing of the week, which means we can wrap it up here. Oh my god, this is like the craziest news week we've had in a long time. So yeah, so there you go. That's your news roundup for the week. Obviously, there's a ton of stuff, and we haven't even talked about any of the leaks. So stay tuned. It's not going to be too long. That video will be going up today as well. So enjoy the double video day, and thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.
Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.
Quick. Where'd the runner for the stand go? There it is. Stuff here. Oh, these are hands for the God Gundam, okay. Carry her bridal style. this in, you fold out the tip. So the beam saber, she has beam ribbons. The other end to this base here. That's a grounding. Lots of ribbons on here, not going to pull them all off right now, but yeah. Mobile Gundam. That's the right hand. Ribbon in her left. Piece in her right. I guess the other way around, whatever. The other hand go. All right. That's gonna do it for now. Let's see. Here she is, Nobel Gundam. I'll get a family photo with the other G stuff I have, which is just God and Dragon right now. I'll get a family photo with them. As I said in the last stream, probably go, or the Dragon Gundam stream, probably end up going all in on the rest of the Shuffle Alliance. Cross my fingers for things like the Spiegel. To get a revisit. Just because Horus Brooder is, another major character. Master Gundam would be nice. Oh no, they made that. Well, they made that in the original line, so I guess I could grab that. Master Gundam and Funisaki, or whatever the horse's name is. I'll probably have to go back and grab that. Anything else? almost certainly be relegated to the MSIA line. There's some really great stuff in G, but anyway, I guess cross my fingers. Hope for a Devil Gundam as well to go with the God Gundam. Anyway, that's been my stream. Thank you for coming out. I'll be back on, I don't know, probably Saturday for Snap Together Saturday. Building J Decker. Be Snap Together Saturday. Until then, thank you very much for coming out, and I'll see you in the future. Hopefully back on my main YouTube channel, if you're watching on YouTube, because I did get the YouTube equivalent of Zuck due to some stuff. So anyway, that'll be on my main YouTube channel. Thank you for coming out. Have a great rest of your night.